The room was full enough that I thought I'd be safe. That's what I always believed. That noise could act like padding, that enough people could soften whatever edges were waiting for me. Glasses clinked. Someone laughed too loudly at a joke that wasn't finished. I stood near the counter, nodding at the right intervals, carrying my body the way you do when you've learned how to take up less space without disappearing. My parents were holding court near the center of the room. They looked relaxed. That should have warned me. I'd spent most of my life translating their moods, learning when to speak, when to smile, when to stay still. I was good at it. That was the problem. Good enough that the rules never had to be explained out loud. Until that night. The sentence didn't come with anger. That's what made it land so hard. We wish you were never born. No build-up. No fight. Just a statement, offered like a conclusion everyone had already agreed on. For a moment the room tilted. Not dramatically, subtly. Sound thinned out like someone had turned the volume knob halfway down. I became aware of my hands first, then my feet. I noticed how easy it would be to laugh it off, to make myself small again, to absorb it and keep the evening intact. That instinct rose fast. Familiar. Seductive. Then something else surfaced, slower, heavier. Tired. I was tired of negotiating my existence. I straightened. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't look at the floor. I felt my breath settle into my chest, like it had finally found a place to stand. If that is what you wish, I said evenly, then consider me as if I never existed. Live your lives as though there was never a daughter named Lisa. Saying my name out loud changed the shape of the moment. It anchored it, made it impossible to dismiss as drama. Silence followed. Not the awkward kind that rushes to be filled, but the kind that holds. Someone set a glass down too carefully. Someone else stopped mid-step. No one laughed. No one interrupted. My parents didn't respond. They looked at me like I'd removed something essential from the room and they were only just noticing the absence. I waited a beat longer than necessary, not for permission, but to prove to myself that I wasn't going to retreat. Then I picked up my coat. I didn't rush. I didn't announce my exit. I moved through the room with the same calm I'd used to stay, letting people see me leave without asking them to understand it. Outside, the air felt colder than it had when I arrived. Clean. Unforgiving in a way that felt honest. My phone buzzed before I reached my car. Then again. Messages stacked quickly. Some confused, some angry, some suddenly concerned. I didn't read them right away. I needed the quiet more than I needed explanations. Later that night, alone, the grief arrived. Not all at once. In waves. Grief for the parents I never had. For the version of myself that kept trying to earn a place that wasn't being offered. There was relief tangled in it too, which surprised me and then didn't. Relief comes when you stop arguing with reality. The days after were strange. People reached out, unsure which side they were supposed to stand on. I didn't recruit anyone. I didn't offer a narrative. I let the silence do what it needed to do. My parents sent a message that tried to soften the edges. Talk of stress, miscommunication. Things said, in the heat of the moment. I read it once. It didn't change the fact that the words had been spoken clearly, without heat, without apology. I didn't respond. Cutting ties isn't dramatic the way people imagine. It's administrative. It's choosing not to re-enter conversations that require you to erase yourself to keep them going. I built my days differently after that. I paid attention to rooms where my presence didn't need translation. I learned what it felt like to speak without bracing. Some nights, the ache still showed up. Rejection that deep leaves a shape behind. I didn't try to fill it with revenge or righteousness. I let it exist, like a scar that reminds you what you survived. I don't know if my parents will ever understand what they lost. That stopped being my responsibility the moment I stopped being their daughter in practice, not just in name. What I do know is this. Standing tall didn't make me stronger. It made me real. And for the first time, that was enough.